You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to take it one step at a time.
Welcome to Adulting with Joyce Pring. Watch the full video of this episode on my channel, www.youtube.com/JoycePringTV. And if you want to level up your adulting game, check out joycepring.com/collections for my digital products and courses.
So in my 20s, I also did all sorts of work. I got this question a lot, like, paano niyo po na-afford mag-travel nun? Girl, I had like 8 jobs. Okay. I worked so hard in my 20s and I still work hard now. So I was a commercial model, I was a live events host, I was uh, singing in clubs, singing in bars, singing in festivals, singing in gigs. I was hosting live events. I was hosting in TV. I was hosting online. I was doing acting gigs. I was a radio jock. I was a TV host. I did a travel show. I did a motorsports show. I raced cars. I did everything. And I even wrote. I wrote and I even did an what do you call this? I did the voicing for an audiobook. All the jobs that I could take in my 20s, all the opportunities, all the things that I could try out that would I felt like would lead me to the things that I wanted to do, which is more creativity, more connection, and more work, I did. So I feel like I have a lot of things to unpack in my 20s, but I did get so many wonderful questions from you guys. If not thousands, hundreds yung questions na nakuha namin sa inyo. And my team had a really difficult time picking out some of the best questions, but we will try to run through them right now. Let's go. I will try not to be long-winded para madami tayong masagot. What are the dreams and goals that happened in your 20s and what are those that weren't fulfilled? At I am Carissa. Okay, so let's start with those that weren't fulfilled. I went to school in UP to study fine arts, and I had always thought that I would be a painter and a writer my whole life. I never liked the limelight. I mean, I loved performing, but always as an artist. And I never thought that I would be somebody who was a bit more on the commercial side of things. You know, let's be honest, I'm not in the artiste, fine arts place where I started. And that is one of the dreams and goals that I really was not able to fulfill, which is to pursue painting, to pursue my art, to pursue writing fully. And I still grieve that to this day, but that was actually a conscious decision because in the start of my career, a lot of people were kind of confused as to what it is that I actually did since I did a lot of things. So they were just like, ano ba talagang ginagawa na tong taong to? Plus, nag-add pa dun yung writer. I was always posting my poetry, my short stories, all of these things from my blogs. And at the same time, my mga paintings and things like that. So I had to kind of taper down on that to focus on hosting muna. And so, yeah, that's one thing that I wasn't able to fulfill. I wanted to do a gallery. I wanted to, be able to hone my skills there, but hindi ko siya nagawa. But all the other things that I was able to achieve were fantastic. I ran down all the things that I did kanina. And another fun thing is that my parents never enrolled me in yung mga summer camps. Never ako nagkaroon ng voice lessons, piano lessons, dance lessons, sports lessons, nothing. Because our family wasn't rich and that was not a concept that we knew was possible. So I did my first voice lessons when I was 20. I did my first piano lessons when I was 20. I did my first swimming lessons when I was 22 or 23. And that led me into doing triathlon, to racing cars, to, recording my first single and things like that. So those were some of the dreams that I did not and did achieve. Okay. Greatest lesson you've learned the hard way by at jam_bacolod. Okay, a couple of lessons. The first one of the greatest lessons that I had to learn the hard way is that money doesn't come easy and you should not be spontaneous about it. A lot of people who know me well might say now na ang galing ko sa pera, which is totoo naman. At this point in my life, magaling naman talaga ako sa pera kasi I've learned that lesson the hard way. I was once a spontaneous spender. Hindi naman big things, pero pag trip ko siya, bibiling ko na kaagad, hindi ko siya pag-iisipan. Like for example, one of my stark memories when I was probably 24, I bought a camera that was so expensive. Let's say that camera was around 250,000 pesos. And the only money that I had in my bank account at that time was 300,000 pesos. Tapos binayaran ko siya ng cash kasi wala akong credit card nun. I didn't do credit cards at that time. And that wasn't a wise decision and I kind of regretted it afterwards. So I had to learn that the hard way. Or minsan meron ako yung mga, I remember going to Sephora for the first time in Singapore. And I remember buying so many things that I ended up not using at all because impulsive buy lang siya. So, I had to learn that the hard way na kailangan ko palang pag-isipan ng mabuti even the small things that I'm spending my money on. So, that's the first one. The second lesson that I had to learn the hard way is that dating for fun is no fun at all. I did a lot of dating for fun when I was in my 20s. And boy, did I hurt my heart, my soul, and my head so much because of those decisions. And I know I did the same thing to those people. I'm not saying na sila lang yung nanakit sa akin. I have hurt a lot of people na to this day, I regret. As in, kung hindi lang siya awkward, gusto ko silang i-message. As in, meron ako minsan moments na gano'n na parang, I want to message the people na pinaasa ko, friendzone ko, binasted ko, pinagsabay kong i-date kasi hindi naman kami exclusive, ganyan-ganyan. And say sorry to them because I really made horrible decisions when I was in my early 20s, especially when it came to dating. And I did have a lot of good people come into my life. And I wasn't ready for good people to come into my life at that time. And that's a hard lesson that I wish I didn't have to learn that way. And I wish I didn't hurt that much people, but I did. So dating for fun is not fun at all. That's one thing that I learned. And I wish I had just waited until I met Wancho, until I was ready to get married. Alam mo yun, para the way that I dated was the same way that I dated Wancho. Because before Wancho, merong several people that, tried to court me na Christian way na talaga. So, no foul, no harm. As in, we got to know each other. They set their intentions. I said no. So hindi siya nag-progress into like fun dating wherein lumalabas na kami ilang times as biglang, I'm not interested pala because I just wanted to focus on my career at that time. So I really regret that. And I'm sorry if you're someone that I hurt in my 20s. This one's an apology directly at you. So that's one. And the third one will have to be that I didn't, I would say, okay, I did invest a lot in my 20s, but I didn't invest as much as I should have. So I bought my first property when I was 23 years old. I bought that condo in Makati, which you guys probably saw if you follow my vlog. Pero I wish I had bought houses and lots instead of a condo. But I didn't know any better and I didn't have anybody teaching me. I just bought a condo in a place that I wanted to live in. And that was that. But that condo was on the 39th floor. It's too high for me now. I am too old to be living on the 39th floor. So we sold it. And ngayon pa lang kami nagsistart bumili ng mga lupa and bahay. Which I did actually. I started buying. I bought a beach lot when I was 26. And recently we bought different house and lots for investment. But I wish I had done that earlier on kasi meron naman akong money for that. Pero napunta siya into one prime property. So what I did was I pretty much put all my eggs in one basket when it comes to real estate. Yung isang prime property na yun that I bought in Makati could have bought me 4 different houses here in the South if I had bought it before. Ngayon, sobrang mahal na dito. So, hindi na siya ganun kadaling bumili. And I'm saying that because I want you guys to learn na sometimes, hindi kailangan super prime yung property, especially kung yun naman yung first property na bibilhin mo, mag-start ka muna sa medium or lower range tapos build up to it. Kasi and lalo na pag lupa, mas madaling handle yung ganun kesa sa condo. So, those are my three big regrets and great lessons. Hindi man regrets pala, big lessons that I had to learn the hard way.
That's it for this episode of Adulting with Joyce Pring. If you liked this podcast, please don't forget to use the hashtag Adulting with Joyce Pring and also check out www.joycepring.com for the show notes and tag me on social media with you know it at Joyce Pring. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Paalam!